Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? It's Over the Ropes. I'm Tyler.
I'm Cortland. Let's do this thing.
And we got NXT review 5/26/25.
5/6/25.
I don't know what I said, but 5/6/25. And here's the thing. I was talking to Cortland about this before the pre-show. I can't tell you if this is a good show or not. Because I watched it, but I was exhausted from work, and I can't tell you a damn thing that happened during this show. So What was your opinion on the show?
You know, I feel like I am enjoying these NXT reviews more than the Raw and SmackDown lately. I think it was pretty solid. I'm a sucker for a good battle royal. The main event was pretty doggone awesome. A lot of physicality. I think it was solid. I think NXT has been really, really, really strong lately.
I agree.
One thing I am fortunate with, kind of like you were just saying, sometimes SmackDown can be tough for me because I'm coming home from a really long work day and then watching a 3-hour show and then
going straight to bed, getting straight up and doing the podcast.
And I get up an hour to an hour and a half early to do the podcast with you, so I'm not late for work.
Right.
So SmackDown can be a little tough on me. NXT is great because I don't work Wednesdays. So I usually start them on Tuesday nights, but honestly, I get to watch them Wednesday morning.
Right.
So I think that's part of it. You know, I don't feel rushed to watch NXT, but I enjoyed what we got. I love that we're getting Joe Hendry on NXT and WWE TV regularly. I'm pumped, man. I'm excited for this show. Raw was a little iffy because, little birthday festivities. I kind of had to cram it in, but this one?
Yeah. Now, I want you all to know what he just said. He said Monday was crammed in because of birthday activities. Let me tell you guys that the week before, I had to work on my birthday by myself because he was on vacation. So, what? Just remember that, all right? Just remember.
Man, I can't control New Hampshire school vacation.
You don't have kids? Get out of here with that.
No, but her job. That's why we had the week. She had the week off.
Actually, I didn't.
In the words of Heath Slater, I got kids.
The only time Heath Slater was entertaining. All right, you start this shit off.
Let's go. So on my birthday edition of NXT, as well as Lash Legends birthday. Also, unfortunately, the recently released Dakota Kai. A couple of birthday buddies. So we start off hot. We start off with my boys, Hank and Tank and Joe Hendry. And man, did they hit that pose against the Dark State. Let me start off with probably my only negative note of this show. Whoever was trying to shoot Hendry's entrance butchered it. The focus was all jacked up. I'm like, this is the biggest star you're going to have on your show, and you're not even in focus. All jokes aside, I enjoyed this one. Tank is an absolute monster, man. This guy is just always running and operating on 100,000%. He turned into a one-man army at one point in this one. As to be expected, Trick Williams got his big nose involved in this one. He pulls Hendry out of the ring. The distraction allows Dark State to take advantage. They hit the tag team powerbomb on my man Tate Ledger. So sad, too bad. Dark State's on a roll, man. Dark State has not lost a match. They're operating on Freebird rules. I think that they've had a different rotation of guys in every match, which I like. They look good. I was really worried about this group. They're looking great. My boys Hank and Tank are getting plenty of TV time, which makes me happy. But most importantly, I cannot wait for Joe Hendry to slap the shit out of Trick Williams at Battleground.
Yeah.
Trick's a little punk, man. Trick is a dick. That's my sign for NXT. Trick is a dick.
Damn.
This guy's an ass.
Anytime Joe Hendry's on on TV. It's wonderful. He's great.
Yeah. Nothing else exists when that dude's on TV. Nothing.
I hate. Listen, Sean's the greatest wrestler of all time. He's my favorite wrestler since I was children.
It's true.
I can't believe he let Hank and Tank rub their loserness off on Joe Hendry. He teams up with these two tub of lards, and guess what happened? He lost. Of course he lost. Of course.
Man, they hit the post. They hit the post twice.
Yeah, and guess what happened? They lost. Why? Because you got the what are their names?
Because Trick wouldn't leave his fucking nose out.
No. It's because they put Joe Hendry with the fucking nasty boys. Like, but you're right. Dark State is wonderful. They've been great, especially in the ring. There's a couple of them that just stand out too.
What's his name?
Sugar?
Every time Dion Lennox, his spine buster, my lord.
Yes, sir.
Man, that is some double A type shit. That is a great spine buster.
Yes, sir. And Sugars is awesome.
Yeah, he's the one that sat out this time finally.
Yeah.
It's good to see Osiris getting some more of the mix. He was, I don't know why I was the most worried. I guess just because he's the one who sat out the first time. I was like, oh, he must not be ready. He is a big bad mother trucker.
That big dude.
I would hate to owe that dude money.
I'm excited for Trick and Joe Hendry. I think that's going to be a great match. I'm surprised they're doing it on Battleground and not the next TNA pay-per-view.
Maybe they'll do both.
Maybe. So then we go back to the locker room. Petrovich is talking to Thea Hale. Petrovich says that the women's division is too deep to be weighed down by distractions. Thea says something about being strong, and Jada Parker interrupts, asking what Thea knows about being strong, acting like she's changed since she's gotten back. Jada says Ashante wasn't the only thing holding Carmen back because she's soft.
In the words of Enzo and Big Cass.
That's right, soft. We'll see how I feel about Petrovich because I felt like being with Ashante made her more interesting to me. So we'll see. I love Thea Hale. I think Thea's great. Jada's awesome.
She's a little spitfire.
She really is. And Jada's incredible. So we'll see where all three of these women go.
And at least to a match later. So
we got the no quarter catch crew warming up for the Battle Royal. Dempsey says tonight isn't about grudges or individual glory.
And man, did he look Miles Bourne in the eyes when he said that, or individual glory, right at him.
It's about three individuals with one goal, and no quarter catch crew getting that title, which plays into the Battle Royal later. Then we get Kalani Jordan versus Zarya. I will say this. Normally, when they turn somebody heel, it makes me more invested in them. I feel like I connect more with them. I like them more. I feel like this is kind of done the opposite for Kalani. I think I liked her face a lot more.
I agree, actually.
Yeah.
I don't always gravitate towards people more as a heel or like them more, but I definitely do not with her. It seems...
I feel like they should have waited and have her join up with Trick and Mello and have that kind of be the heel turn, you know what I'm saying? Because she's dating Mello in real life. I think she's trying to play off of his him, but it's just not connecting with me for some reason.
She doesn't give me heel tendencies at all.
No, in the way smiling baby face never really works, but I feel like that connected with me a lot more than this heel Kalani. So and Zarya is just a monster. I can't wait for her to turn on.
I'm just waiting any minute now.
Happen. So Kalani hits a huge moonsault outside. Zarya pushes Kalani into Soul, then spears Kalani through the barricade. Soul barely moves out of the way.
No.
Yeah, Zarya hits the F5 for the win, and she is going to destroy Soul when they finally wrestle.
Yeah. I like matches like this where there's a big difference in styles. You know, you got the powerhouse versus the hyper athletic Kalani. I feel like Kalani doesn't lose often, so I was really intrigued going into this one to see who was going to get the dub. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of weeks before Zarya turns on Soul and takes that title. But this was a solid match, and there was that moment of, is this it? Because you knew as soon as Soul caught Kalani, someone was getting speared.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid match, I thought. I enjoyed it. After this, we get a couple of segments out back. Wesley rags on Tony D'Angelo about the family. Tony's like, hey man, anyone knows anything about stabbing a brother in the back? It's you, Wes. Wes says Tony must not be in the battle royal because he's lacking confidence without his family.
I just haven't seen him.
And I was very surprised. You know, you've got someone with the accolades of Tony D'Angelo, who's been in NXT for so long. I was very surprised he wasn't in the battle royal. I thought that was a bit puzzling.
Well, I think it's because like him and Stacks is more important than the title right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it is, and he doesn't have to win it, but you've got guys we've never heard of in the Battle Royal, and Tony D's not in it. I was a little surprised, but I mean, it made for a fine segment out back anyways, and maybe it plants seeds for something between Tony and Wes.
Right.
Regardless, another backstage segment. Lola and Stephanie are talking, and at first, like, Lola's like supporting and endorsing of Stephanie, and she's like, if anyone can take down Julia or Jordan Grace, like, it's you. But then all of a sudden she's all like, but no matter what happens at Battleground, I'll be waiting on the other side for you. It was weird. She like flipped this like bitchy switch midway through. Oh, I want to make a joke so bad, but I won't. Redacted. Julia approaches the both of them, and she looks right at Stephanie, and she's like, I haven't forgotten about you. And she tells Stephanie she'll see her at Battleground. And after this, we get that big battle royal, the 25-man battle royal for the number one contender for the NXT Championship. And my lord, I thought I was like pretty excited to see Timothy Thatcher, just like one of those random guys that I really appreciated. So, one thing I'm going to sidebar here. One thing I didn't expect through my job, where I work, I'm a bartender. I am very surprised how many wrestling fans I've met and how often it comes up when I bartend. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember who it was in this moment, but I was talking to someone like, I want to say it was last week, and he was talking about this like running, not like a running joke, but like this thing he talks about with his friends where there's just like certain mid-card guys that you like way more than your friends or anyone else does. And I was like, oh my god, I can relate to this so hard. I love Apollo Crews. You know, and Baron Corbin. Like, those were the two examples I gave him. Thatcher's like almost in that. Like, I was just really into Timothy Thatcher, and I think it's just because like he gives me that Shayna Baszler, like, I could actually fucking kill you if I wanted to thing. I appreciate that. But talking about fucking mid-carders that I like more than anyone breathing on God's green earth, I was not expecting this surprise. Fucking Elijah! Holy shit! When the lights went dark and I heard the guitar, man, I almost jumped. I jumped out of my chair.
Yep.
I was amped. Oh my lord, I was the biggest Elias fan I know.
I love Elias. Right there.
I will always walk with Elias because that's what WWE really stands for.
Yeah, that was the good big surprise. 'Cause, like, they showed Thatcher
God.
like promotional picture last
Yeah.
week. So like you knew he was there, but that would have been cool. But yeah, as soon as you heard that guitar, I just think that was like,
dude, I lost it.
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to stay off social media sometimes because, as I've mentioned on the show, I rarely am all the way live on everything we watch. Um, if I get lucky and a show is on a Sunday instead of a Saturday, great. Otherwise, I'm usually live on Raw because I don't work Mondays, but a lot of things I'm behind. I genuinely had no idea about this, even though I watched it the day after, and I was so happy. Um, we get into the match. Ethan Page ducks out from under the rope immediately to go attack Elijah outside of the ring. Ashante does the same. He slides under the rope and kind of hangs tight. Excuse me, tight. Um, a little bit of tension, I think, between the No Quarter Catch crew only enhances in this match. At one point, Dempsey's asking for help from Miles Bourne, and Miles kind of turns around, he weighs his options, and he's like, nah, I'm doing my own thing. And Dempsey ends up getting eliminated. I don't know if this was on purpose or if this was a total accident, but it's kind of funny that Tavion Heights was right there.
Right.
And also didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Adonis sneaks back in. He tries to attack and eliminate Trick, but it backfires and Trick eliminates him. Nico Vance eats a bullet for his boy Sean Spears and gets eliminated. Yeah, a lot of inter-group backfires in this one. Inamura accidentally eliminates Briggs. Trick goes on a roll. He makes a few eliminations. Joe Henry's music hits. Tracks Trick. Elijah eliminates Trick. Moment of the match for sure.
Oh, yeah.
My God, Siobhan Evans is a human highlight reel. He avoids elimination in a way I've never seen anyone do by bouncing off the ropes the way he did. Final four comes down to Spears, Siobhan Evans, Miles Bourne, and Ethan Page. Spears and Page work together quite a bit once they get down to four. They both kind of toss Siobhan over the ropes. And then I cannot remember who. I think Spears was the one on the apron. Miles Bourne hits a big drop kick into Page, and both of them fall off of the apron. And Miles Bourne, man, who saw that coming?
Wow.
Miles Bourne wins the Rumble, or the Battle Royal. He is your number one contender. Tavion sprints out like he's Usain Bolt, shot out of a cannon. Ren is also out there to celebrate. Dempsey takes his time, does not look nearly as excited as the other two.
Doesn't get in the ring, just kind of stands off to the side, like staring.
Yep.
Boy, I'm conflicted about this because anybody who has Miles Bourne on Twitter,
He's so funny.
Has to be the reason he's in this position. Because the dude is hysterical. And Ren's hysterical. She does these little interviews. She just did one with Bourne. It was hilarious as hell. Her last question was, do you believe in Joe Hendry? And he was like, no. Like, what? And she kicked him off the interview stage. But at the same time, if these pay-per-views are supposed to be like WWE pay-per-views, Miles Bourne versus Oba? Like, frankly, Trick and Hendry's should be the main event over Oba and Bourne. You know?
Hey, it might be. It might be.
Frankly, should be. Or Jordan, well, we'll get there later, but or Stephanie defending her title. Like, that should, open the show. Like,
here's the thing. We've talked about this. We need credible men's heavyweight champions in NXT. If they're not going to bring anyone in for it, you got to build people up. And Bourne has been red hot.
Bourne has been, and he's great, but I just...
It's about time they strap the rocket to someone's back, and we'll see.
That's true. But, I'm surprised that this isn't, Dempsey. You would think in this position it would be Dempsey. Getting the match, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't hate it. I love Bourne. He's entertaining as hell, and he's been, last week he did awesome. I love how they pointed out how Dempsey was going to be pissed by everything he was doing, or was pissed by everything he was doing. But at the same time, I'm like, boy, this does not feel like a pay-per-view title match. So, It'll be interesting. I hope it delivers. I hope it delivers, and I hope it does strap the rocket to Bourne because he's great. Really, Randy Jr. You know.
Did you hear the crowd say "Baby Randy"?
No, I
Dude,
didn't.
absolutely cracks me up.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
partway through before he even won.
My favorite comment was on Twitter talking about Randy Orton's return at Survivor Series, and he was like, "The crowd was so loud, I heard them."
Yeah.
Or like somebody put a video about him being like little Randy, and he was like, "Randy hears voices in his head, and I hear nothing at all." Dude's hilarious. And I love him. I think he's great on screen. I like to see. I love what they were doing with Ren and what's that match that they do at Deadline? The Iron Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
Where she like couldn't get a pinfall. I love Ren. I think she's great. I think Miles is great. I'm just surprised, and I'm willing to try new things. You know, I'm willing to try anything once. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I hope it works. And at the end of the day, this is going to turn into a Bourne and Dempsey thing. You know?
Oh, big time.
Which is going to be great. Tavion's awesome. I hope Tavion gets something coming up too, because he's great. Ren's great. They're all great except for Dempsey. I don't know. Dempsey really doesn't do much for me. Which is funny. He's talking about mid-carders.
Because he's a legacy guy.
Yeah, that too. But talking about mid-carders that people loved, I loved William Regal.
I love Pops.
Oh my God.
I'm waiting for Charlie to do something for me, and I have a soft spot for him because he's Regal's boy, and I love William Regal.
Yeah.
But so far, Bourne is definitely my guy out of this group. Although, I love Ren's quirkiness.
Yeah, I love Ren. Miles and Ren really are standouts.
Yep.
So then we get Jada Parker versus Carmen Petrovich. Both just so good in the ring. Carmen, even though character-wise doesn't do a lot for me, in-ring-wise is stellar.
Super athletic.
Yeah. I love her like martial arts background too. I like when people use that. But Carmen ends up missing a spinning kick, and Jada finishes her off with the hypnotic. Jada gets the win. Jada should have got the win because Jada is awesome. After the match, Jada beats up on Petrovich until she goes for another hypnotic. Dia comes out, pushes Petrovich out of the way, eats the hypnotic. And Ava, it looks like probably getting Ava and Jada. Awesome for Ava. Awesome for Ava because she is great.
Ava? What? Why are you talking about Ava?
Thea. Sorry.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting because I looked at the next line.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably looking at the next line. Yeah.
So it looks like we're getting Thea versus Carmen, or Thea versus Jada, and that's great.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. So next.
Solid match. Yeah. Again, I feel like another match where the styles were very different, and I really appreciated that. Jada breaks out some new moves. Man, that spinning elbow was nasty.
Dude.
But I agree. This, I think, was about furthering Thea versus Jada, because they had some words back and forth in that backstage. So.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great match. Thea's great. Jada should be winning that title at some point.
Jada can bench press Thea like dust times.
Yep. And then Ava announces Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams at Battleground for the championship, which again should probably be fighting for the main event because shouldn't be Oba versus Bourne, that's for sure.
I would agree.
Then we get a video package for OTM. I know you said that they didn't do much for you, but again, they're probably making no money. I like them enough. I'm willing to see what they got. You know, they've gone through some like other members. You know, first it was the little flippy guy, Scripps.
Oh, yeah.
At first it was Scripps, then Jada was with them. Like, let's see what they do on their own. I have no problem with it. Give us a little something.
What are his scripts?
TNA.
Oh,
Yeah, he wrestled in the Ultimate X at their pay per view.
oh, that's right. That's right. Yep.
I would. I mean, if I had more time in the day, I would. I need to start watching TNA on the weekends. Um,
I bought the subscription a couple months ago and then forgot I had been paying for it, and I've watched one of the shows. I just wish I had the time,
yeah, I need to start
but
doing it on the weekends. So the weekend is when I usually get caught up on all my shows.
yep,
Because I'm a big movie, TV show guy, I'm a big cinema guy. Love going to the movies, things like that. So
yep.
after the video package, Yoshi tells Briggs that he's going back to Japan. The calling approach, Jensen says he knows the feeling and it sucks. He suggests Briggs always thinks the problem is the partner, but maybe it's him. Maybe. Maybe.
Nice little dig right there.
Right. Yeah, which would be fun because I do like Briggs enough. Like Briggs when that like in that era where he was wrestling like Dijak and Oba was a good Briggs.
Dude can bring it. I like him on his own more than in a tag. I hope we get him and Jensen again, and I think after that little spout off, I think we will see these two in a match here pretty soon.
Probably.
After this, we get another segment with the No Quarter Catch crew. Dempsey says that the group needs to help him prepare for his title match against Oba at Battleground, saying that Bourne won for the good of the group. Oba approaches. He congratulates Miles Bourne. Dempsey keeps trying to steal the spotlight in this one, and Bourne just totally throws him under the bus as a result because Dempsey had been talking a big game before Oba got there, talking about how he could stretch him and
Yeah.
and mop him. So he throws him under the bus, and he's like, "Hey man, well why don't you show the group how it's done next week when you take Oba on?" I love his use of his selective hearing. I think he's got a lot more personality than any of us ever expected.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for the implosion of this group as well.
Yeah.
Charlie Dempsey's kind of a dick. After this, we get a really quick little video package. Basically, Kale and Uriah, a little makeover for Andre Chase. He's got a new little tracksuit.
Chase
And then we get the number one contenders match for the NXT Women's Championship. Julia versus Jordan Grace. This one was nasty. I'm telling you what, when you are up and with it, you need to watch this match again because this was brutal.
Yeah.
Julia took some really, really nasty bumps in this match. So props to her. She was fine. But she got dropped on her head early, and then again later on, she just eats a Michinoku driver, and it was violent.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this match between these two. Jordan ends up looks like she's pretty much got this match in the bag, and then Julia just stands up and no-sells everything. She psychs herself up one more time, but then Jordan hits the beast mode, and that was enough.
Hell yeah.
Jordan Grace is your number one contender. So we get Grace versus Stephanie Vacour at Battleground.
I wonder if she wins this.
Jordan Grace?
Stephanie's gonna get. Here's the thing. This Stephanie rise has been nuts.
Quick!
How popular
Really fast.
she is. And she really has not been in NXT that long.
Nope, not at all.
And her popularity is skyrocketed. Like if she's still shooting like this, boy, she's gonna be the top woman on Raw and SmackDown in a year. You know what I'm saying? Like she's gonna be nuts. And it's everything. It's her the promos that she cuts where it's somewhat in her language, some of her trying to speak English. It's the way she looks. It's her wrestling style. It's everything. She's awesome. She's stunning. She's an incredible wrestler. Her promos feel real and like she's She's like meaning what she says. Stephanie is the total package.
Yeah. You know what's funny about this though? Look back. I can't remember exactly how long it's been since Jordan's been on the roster. Wouldn't you have
Officially,
expected? Yeah.
the Rumble. The Rumble was
Wouldn't
her
you kind of
first match.
expect one of these? Wouldn't you expect Jordan, the one that gets absolutely skyrocketed to the main roster, and Stephanie was the one who kind of hung in NXT for a bit? I'm really surprised that this is the way it worked out.
Yeah. Now, granted, Stephanie had already been
Maybe.
on the roster for like 4 months before Jordan came in. But yeah, no. Honestly, I figure the flip would have been her and Julia, even though they're getting moved up at the same time. I feel
Yep.
like her popularity skyrocketed over Julia's. And
Yep.
I love Julia. I love Jordan. Great match. Boy, did you see the outrage online about this match? Oh my god. There's a part where she kind of drops Julia on her head a little bit,
Yeah.
and just
She does get dumped on her head.
oh my god. Oh, what the hell? Everybody talking about AEW. What the hell is this crap? Just oh my god. Anybody who's talking shit about this. Now, granted, anybody who does about AEW, like, I get it's kind of the same thing. I do a little bit just to troll people and piss people off. But, like, in reality, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Frankly, it's not the wrestler's fault in AEW. It's the idiots who control the camera because they don't do enough like cuts and changes during certain moves. That's the reason WWE looks the way it does. Is because they know when to change the camera angle so you don't see somebody like you know what I'm saying. So.
Yep.
The internet outrage about this match was just nuts for a match that was so good, and you're like,
I thought it was a really solid match.
a really good match, and both these women are just awesome, awesome. Stephanie and Jordan Grace is gonna kill, kill.
Yep.
When is Battleground?
2 weeks after. I think it's the same weekend as the Sunday Night Main Event.
Okay, Saturday night's main event.
I think it's Memorial Day weekend, which is 2 weekends from this weekend.
Yeah, so same weekend, Saturday night.
Today,
Okay.
yeah. If today's the 7th, yeah.
Cool. And that is your NXT review. Look at that, 32 minutes.
Not bad.
We killed this one. I mean, hey, you know why? Because I didn't have as much Hank and Tank to rant about. And they kept it culling off the screen, more or less.
Yeah.
I will say I was a little disappointed that we didn't get any stacks.
Yeah, that is a little surprising.
Yeah.
No follow up on him or Crucifino.
Love some stacks. Some stacks.
You would.
You know who I could do more of?
Who?
Santino's daughter. Where's she, man?
Yeah, man. What the heck?
Yeah, she's great.
She's hilarious.
She's so funny. Yeah. Put her with her, man. Her and Stacks versus Tony and
Oh yeah.
whatever her name is.
Rizzo.
Rizzo? Hell yeah, give me that. All right, that is your
Maybe.
That is your NXT review. Give us a like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. Put some comments on there. We'll shout you out. We'll do a little back and forth. Or we'll just comment on it and tell you you're stupid if you're going to talk shit about Becky Lynch.
Knucklehead.
Dummy. Dude, I lost it. Whatever it was a couple weeks ago in LA Night. Finally,
Yeah. You did appreciate that.
Alright, so that is it for NXT. Come back and see us. Yesterday we did Raw. A little late, but that's fine. Tomorrow we'll have your Backlash review, where your man will finally
Preview.
predictions, where your man will predict finally being back on his crown #1 spot. Because right now, some chump is 1 point ahead of me. Chump. But it never lasts. It never lasts. I'm undefeated. I don't lose these. So, after Backlash, right back at it. This time, I'm reading my predictions first. So now it looks like you're stealing my predictions. Dick. That's the only reason he's ahead. That's the only reason he's ahead is because I keep letting him go first, and then I keep changing some of my picks so we don't have all the same damn picks. I ain't doing it.
Absolute knucklehead.
Done. Alright, anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow with predictions. We'll see you Saturday for the SmackDown review. Enjoy your wrestling. Peace!